It's called school refusal, or school can't. Not to be confused with wagging, it's when a child can't go to school because they're too anxious.
It's kids who want to go but find it really difficult for a whole range of reasons. Usually anxiety, social anxiety, falling behind in your schoolwork. These are kids who want to go but can't.
My daughter's been a school refuser since grade 1. She's now in year 11, and it's been, terribly distressing.
The phenomenon is at an all-time high across Australia. And while the true numbers are unknown, the proof is in the attendance levels, which have fallen off a cliff. Last year, half of all students skipped 1 in 10 days of school.
I've got a 13-year-old. She was a confident girl with lots of friends pre-COVID, post-COVID, post-lockdowns, less social, less confident.
Today's report, finding shame and stigma around school refusal, is having a devastating impact on children. Parents have divorced under the pressure. Schools have threatened families with fines or legal action.
It causes tremendous stress at home, stress between the parents, and even the siblings are struggling. So tremendous distress for families.
The report making 14 recommendations, including more mental health visits for kids, a fully funded parent peer support network, school refusal training for teachers, and improved child health screening for early intervention. Pressure building on the federal government to take action, starting with addressing the stark lack of national data.
For now, they're just all lumped in with more casual truants, whereas this is something really different.
Until we have teachers really understanding that it's a stress-based response, it makes it really difficult to deal with it in positive ways that help a young person.
Children and their parents today hopeful that help is coming.
The kids have shut down, they're on strike, and they find it very difficult to express what the problem is. It becomes behavioural, but let's not focus on the behaviour. Let's try to understand what's going on and support kids to move back out into the world, including school, of course.
We're joined now by Amy and her 11-year-old son, Leo. Leo has autism and hasn't stepped inside a classroom since October last year. Amy, as a parent, as a mum, what's it like watching your child go through this?
It's devastating to see this bright, happy kid who loved learning and, loved spending time with his friends, just lose that spark and get so anxious and stressed over something he had to do every day. It's really heartbreaking because he's got so much potential and so much to offer. But it just became harder and harder for him in the classroom. And I also felt very because it's not something that's really talked about. And, people love to parent shame. It's really hard to feel like you belong somewhere, I guess.
Leo, we can hear what your mum's saying and she's sitting alongside you, but what has this also been like for you?
It's just been really hard because, I love seeing my friends, to my friends out there, it's really nice to be able to, it's just, really nice to be able to, have such fun. I remember art class was my favourite because, we'd just talk and goof around while doing art and it was just fun. But now I just can't because it's, just... an experience happened and they just wouldn't listen to me and I just felt really I wasn't in control, they just forced me and I just couldn't just really put me off school and I just got rid of lots of my trust for adults in general, really.
So do you want to be able to go back to school?
I would like to be able to, but I just can't really I have found a high school that I really want to go to and it seemed like I might be able to, so that's pretty exciting, but I just don't think I'll be able to go back this year. It's just it's just really sad, just heartbreaking, and just I just really wish I could, because my friends are great, I love to have fun, but I just can't because everything else is just torment.
Leo, are you able to describe what it is that is the blockage that stops you? If you're getting ready to go to school and you want to see your friends.
It's I just don't feel like I can say what I just be who I am because and I feel whenever I did have to leave school early, I felt so ashamed because no one else is doing it, so why is it? I felt like I was the problem.
I'm sorry to hear all of that, Leo. It sounds like it's been pretty tough. Amy, there will be people watching this tonight and thinking, Why don't you just make your kid go back to school? What do you say when people ask you that?
When your kid is hiding under a table, curled in a ball, in a fetal position, not able to function, it's not an option to keep forcing him. I'm privileged enough to have a good support team. He has a psychologist and so on. We tried all the strategies we could think of, but it wasn't enough. We needed the environment at school to change. Leo tried everything he could, but we couldn't change the environment at school. And it actually triggers a post-traumatic stress response if he tries to enter the school. So that's a panic attack, basically. So if we were to force him, he would hurt himself. It would just cause a lot more trauma than it's already caused.
Amy, one of the report recommendations was to prepare teachers to be able to handle this and respond to it. Would that make a difference to Leo?
That would be the biggest thing. I think what we wanted was for him to have a classroom that was inclusive, neuroaffirming, so not teaching him that being autistic is wrong, because it's not. It's just a different neurotype.
Yeah, and just like accepting like people learn differently, because I was never told that people can learn differently. I was told, like, I was basically like, I just had to know that like everyone learns the same way. If you're not learning properly, you're just stupid practically.
Yeah, so I think a lot of neuroaffirming and trauma-informed practice would be great at schools. It would make a massive difference. And it doesn't take anything away from the other kids. It actually adds to their experience, because all their issues can be acknowledged and worked with, and their whole experience can be enhanced. And teachers aren't going to be struggling with kids who are acting out of stress. You know, if kids are happy and feel welcome and safe, their behaviour is going to be a lot better.
Clever young man. Amy and Leo, thank you so much for your time this evening.
Thank you.
No, it's no problem.
What a sweetheart Leo is, and we can see, especially after COVID, it has really shone a bright light on neurodivergent children and the fact that classrooms and also teachers and really the whole education system is not equipped to really support these kids, from autism to Asperger's to ADHD, wherever on the scale that you are. You need a village. It's like raising a child. You really, really do. We want to see kids like Leo getting back into school, but getting back into feeling safe in an environment. And there's such a big ripple effect, isn't there, with what happens in the classroom, what happens with the children, with understanding and educating those around him that this isn't wrong, it's not good or bad, it's different, and different is great.
Yeah, my heart goes out to parents, because I think there's a lot of judgment as to why kids are or aren't going to school, and it's always a more complex story than you first imagine.